Hello guys, I want you to let me in on a little secret today. Have you ever thought about or acted on the desire to run away from home? Was it about the conflicts and the disheartenment of parents, brothers, and sisters, or something else? How was the situation so bad that you wanted to leave, and how did you feel then? I personally have never run away, but today I will tell you a very special case of leaving home, not for the typical reasons, but because of some misunderstanding and the aversion of relatives. This case that I'm about to tell you follows a child named Thi. The main character in the long story Escape by poet Phan Thị Thanh Nhàn, one of the most famous poets who originated from Hanoi, our beloved city. This long story left me in tears from the very first time I read it. This story is about a child named Thi. Thi has a unique situation. Her mother passed away tragically in a traffic accident soon after her parents got a divorce. Thi then becomes an orphan, living lonely in her uncle's house because of her aunt's neglect. Only because of a misunderstanding involving a golden ring and a pre-existing grudge, the bridegroom angrily kicked Thi out of the house. The little girl then wandered off and happened to follow a hearse down to the cemetery where her grandmother was buried, and then she started to live with the cemetery residents. Here, the children had ragged clothes, stage noses, and were somewhat outspoken dominated the graves. He is then adopted into a lower class family with a mute mother, a grave-digging father, and their two children, Ga and Thi. The whole family has to work really hard to even remotely satisfy their basic needs, but in return, little Thi has hugs, some people to hold hands with while sleeping, and some people to share meaningful meals with. Such a simple happiness that any child deserves, but for Thi, it is a very valuable and happy thing. Thi putting happiness on a pedestal shows how disadvantaged and sad she really is. So, how do you think the story ended? Do you think that Thi was able to live with an admirable family and find simple happiness again, or something else? Read the book to find out and create your own ending for little Thi. The manners and treatments of the children in the story has arguably left me with the most emotions. I was warmed inside by how her cousin Huang and her friend Hao cared for Thi lovingly, never giving up their search for her. Also, when Ka says, "She's my sister now," very forcefully, and Thi says, "Daddy, please let her stay at our house," and when Thi calls Ka, "Brother Ka, wait for me please," so closely and delicately, filled with the warmth, love, and innocence of these children who did not deserve their fate. The words and actions of the children made me think a lot about how people are treated, even in poverty. Human love always shines nobly. That is the essence of love that the Vietnamese people have kept throughout the centuries, and is one characteristics that I am always proud of and cherish. Also, we can also glimpse many meaningful stories hidden behind the words. For example, Thi being kind and courteous to her grandmother at all times, or learn to not be a selfish, deceiving, lying person like her aunt Mai, who in truth just wants the best for her children. After reading the book, I am more motivated to treat my grandparents, parents, teachers, family, and friends around me friendlier and more humanely. I've read and experienced this book, and so what about you? Try it at least one time. I can promise that you will experience all the same emotions as me, because we are all Vietnamese, right? We all have that same compassion and empathy that makes us different from other cultures. Thank you for listening and hope you vote for me. I'm Bùi Hà Phương from class 683 in Hoàng Mai Secondary School.